Hey guys, welcome back. This has been a video that has been extremely requested of me recently, and it is to look at the comparison between, we're going to be looking at the comparison between unique Metal Knight and unique Fujitora. Alright, so recently, in this new One Piece update, Fujitora was released, and a giant question people have been asking is, who is gonna be the best kill unit? So we're gonna be looking at unique Metal Knights, and we're gonna be looking at unique Fujitora. And in looking at these two units, I'm not going to be putting a relic on them because I want to look at these units as if they don't have relics. But when I'm doing calculations later, I will be looking at what kind of damage Fujitora will be putting out with his Lost Vein on. But we'll look at so many different kinds of situations. So as you can tell, he has A+ SA, and then Fujitora has S- SA. So let's go ahead and get in here. And I will be back to show you guys once we are set up. Okay guys, let's get into it. So I've amassed some gold here, and I want to take a look at these guys at each of their big upgrades, aka every time they get a new skill, and seeing what they will bring to your team at those points. Something I want to preface here is that I did recently learn that even though it looks like he has 6 hits on his his final move, Fujitora actually only hits 3 times in his final ability. It looks like 6, but it really only hits 3 times, which changes a lot of stuff, which means I'm actually going to be leaving out the Lost Vein calculation because it doesn't really matter here. So let's go ahead and take a look at unique Fujitora versus unique Metal Knight. So Metal Knight came out in the One Punch Man update, and he has been super strong. Their starting damage is roughly the same. On placement, unique Metal Knight is dishing out about 24,000 divided by, I'm just doing like a rough estimate. He's doing about 4,000 DPS, whereas Fujitora is doing about... Oh, they're about 4,200 each, actually. That's really nice. So on placement, you're going to be getting about the same damage. Fujitora's range is a little bit longer, though. This isn't really accounting for curses and everything. So let's go ahead and check out... Base Metal Knight has a range of 22, so this one has 2.5 more. However, base Fujitora has a range of 24. So higher range in favor of Fujitora here. Alright, let's get to their first ability. Metal Knight costs 2,500, about 5,300. About 8,000. Okay, so it takes about 12,000 to get Metal Knight to his laser upgrade. And also, we have to keep in mind that he is getting drones. I believe it's every 20 kills, even though it says 50. Okay, here, we can check real quick, actually. So when this next one spawns, I believe he gets it at 20. Yes, so he gets the drones at 20 kills. Okay. We'll be accounting the drone DPS at the end. Metal Knight here is, when he gets his laser upgrade, sitting at about 142,000. I'm just rounding. Divided by 6.9. So Metal Knight at laser upgrade gives him about 20,500 or 20,600 about DPS. Fujitora... 2,100, okay. A little cheaper to get him to his gravity meteor, Both of them are looking like they have about the same size circle AoE, which means it's a pretty fair comparison here other than their damage types. Fujitora is sitting at 175,600 divided by 6.5. So Fujitora is definitely skyrocketing in DPS here. However, I do want to take into account that that Metal Knight is getting drones that will be doing half of his damage. I believe it's half. I actually don't have my own Metal Knight, as you guys know. So I just want to check real quick before I make any claims that aren't true. So one quick second here. All right, so the drone has... Okay, that's actually not half of his damage, but I think it might change once he gets to his max form. So we'll actually look at that later. So Metal Knight, drone laser upgrade. Oh, I guess that's what's going to upgrade his damage, huh? So that's going to put him at 202,000. These numbers are just getting ridiculous already. Even though Dofi, the new secret unit, his numbers look like this without unique, which is crazy. Metal Knight will be sitting at about 31,000 damage per second with the drones to account for. We'll move Fujitora up to, oh, I guess he's going to go straight to his Gravity Festival, which will bump him to 575,000 damage. 575,000 divided by 9.8. So Fujitora's at upgrade 7 and he's at his last attack upgrade. So I feel like this is not a really fair comparison between him and the Metal Knight. So let's go ahead and get Metal Knight to his... Honestly, let's just get them both to the end. Oh, my Metal Knight has so many upgrades. Okay. So I want to see what a drone looks like with Metal Knight here at 500. Okay, here we go. Drone. Okay, now it is at half of his damage. Okay, cool. Let's do some final damage calculations here. Metal Knight will be hitting them 4 times with his multi-hit, where Fujitora hits them 3 times. Yes, I know there looks like there's 6 meteors, but I mean, there is 6 meteors, but apparently only every 2 deal damage. So a little bit of a bummer. I was really happy about this 6 multi-hit. I thought it was like super cool for him, but alas. Anyway, let's go ahead and calculate Metal Knight's damage, assuming there's an average of 2 we can calculate it at 1 and 2 drones. So at 1, Metal Knight by himself will be sitting at 560, I'll just do 567,000 divided by 5.3 DPS. So unique Metal Knight without any drones is sitting at about 107,000 damage per second. Now let's calculate what it looks like with 1 drone out. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that down. 107,000. And let's go ahead and calculate him with the drone. So with 1 drone out, that's basically, let's see, 283, 436 divided by 4. That adds a lot of DPS. That is 70,000 DPS on top of his already 107,000, right? So Metal Knight with 1 drone out will be doing 177,000 damage per second. And then we can just add that again. So 70859 plus 70859. That will be making a Metal Knight with 2 drones out dealing 248,718 damage per second, roughly. That's this Metal Knight with not even S stats. Now, let's take a look at what Fujitora brings out. Fujitora will be dealing 738,971 damage divided by 9. Fujitora is only dealing 82,000 DPS. Yes, I know we don't have relics on them, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know if a relic would help him since he's 3-hit. Like, he won't even be critting every time. I was really thinking he was like sleeper OP with his 6 meteors, but turns out he's only hitting them 3 times, which is just, see that? You saw that, right? 1 meteor fell down and didn't even do anything. So he's doing 82,000 damage per second divided amongst 3 hits. So in this case, Metal Knight is doing far more damage. Just far more damage with 2 drones out. If we only have 1 drone out, he's still doing 170,000 damage per second. And even with no drones out, he's dealing over 20,000 more just by himself. Fujitora with a Lost Vein would be a little bit better. That would mean every 2 times he attacks, he'll get a crit in. So, I mean, I guess I could calculate that real quick. So assuming, 738,979. Right, so we're gonna divide that by 3. One of these attacks will be doing 1.5 times the damage, right? Because of the Lost Vein. 246323 plus 246323 plus 246323. So that'll be his damage when he has a Lost Vein proc. And that'll be every 2 hits. So assuming he, even with the Lost Vein proc, with a 4-hit Lost Vein or 5-hit Lost Vein, his damage is not nearing Metal Knight's. However, I have a treat for you guys because I think that a more fair comparison, also thank you so much Vinsmoke for letting me use your Fujitora in this. Congratulations. A unique Fujitora is nothing to laugh about. It's a very strong unit. But let's look at a comparison between a unique Metal Knight with 2 drones out versus a divine Fujitora, right? Because we know Fujitora is 4 placements. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We have the Metal Knight's damage in the bottom left, but let's look at what a Fujitora with a divine on is pumping out in a group DPS setting, right? If we're looking at an infinite, you would want divine on Fujitora over unique because he has, 4 placements. So let's go ahead and bump him all the way up there. So a Fujitora with divine has quite a fast SPA, about 8.9. I think the other one was about that actually, because divine and unique give the same SPA reduction. But this one's a little bit faster because the stats are better. 52 range versus 44. 52 does help a lot. So the circle is, I think it's the same size. Yeah, I think the circle is the same size actually. Maybe Fujitora's is slightly bigger. Fujitora's circle is 16 and Metal Knight's is 15. Okay, Fujitora's is slightly bigger. Let's calculate the damage of a divine Fujitora. So, this one does have a relic on it, but we're not going to account for the relic. 224,673 times 4, right? So that's about 900,000 damage. And dividing that by 8.9. That puts Fujitora at about 101,000 damage per second as a group. So In all honesty, I thought that Fujitora was going to dethrone Metal Knight here. All right, okay. Let's look at what it would look like with the Lost Vein critting every other time. So with the Lost Vein crit, so every other hit basically, and when you have 4 of them out, that'll be quite frequently, honestly. I know I'm trying everything to make him look good, but it kind of looks like our King Metal Knight has not been dethroned, unless my math is somehow completely wrong. Let's look at what, so 898692. 898692. We're gonna divide that by 3. 299. Okay, that's just about, I'm just gonna say 300,000. So he does 300,000 for the 400,000 plus 600,000. Right, so that'll be when he crits with the Lost Vein, divided by 8.9. So only when he's critting with the Lost Vein, and this is actually a little bit higher than it should be because the Lost Vein won't be critting every time. Fujitora is a great unit. We have a physical hill unit that can really use the Lost Vein really well. If he was 6 hit, it would be a lot different in my opinion. But even with, so 177,859. Looking at the average, because more likely than not, Metal Knight will always have a drone out. So he's at 7 right now. This one's about to go away. But if this was like a higher level, you know, when the units aren't just immediately dying to Fujitora right here, I think a Metal Knight will more likely than not always have at least 1 drone out. Maybe there'll be some downtime, but more often than not, the drones will be out. I'm quite sad to say, but it looks like Metal Knight is the better unit here. It feels like Fujitora was, there was a lot of good intention with him, but I want to calculate what his damage looks like with a if his ultimate was 6 hits, or not his ultimate, his final move was 6 hits. So here we go, 224,673 times 4 divided by 6. So in this case, if it was a 6 hit, that means he would be critting twice, right? If it was a 4 hit or 5 hit, he would crit twice every time. So that's about, I'm just going to say 150,000 times 1.5 is 2, right? And then 150,000 times 4 is 600,000. Divided by 8.9. Oh. Well, I guess that actually makes sense because I did that math just earlier. That's the same math, actually. But yeah. Fujitora is getting... I thought this would look a lot better for Fujitora, but I guess I should have looked at the numbers a bit more. I know they're physical versus magic, and if you ever have a physical sort of challenge where it's like you need physical over magic, obviously you're going to bring Fujitora. He is the best physical hill in the game right now. But if we're looking at hill in general, where resistances don't matter, Metal Knight takes the cake yet again. This guy is just insane. In my opinion, he beats out Frieza in most situations, and he kind of demolishes Fujitora as well. He has 4 hits on his final upgrade. Fujitora only has 3, so it looks like even in the multi-hit department, even though Fujitora is literally dropping 6 meteors, he's only hitting 3 of them. So I guess he needs to work on his aim in aim labs or something. Anyway, thank you to Cosmic and for letting me use your account here. And thank you so much as well to Vinsmoke as well for letting me use your account. I just wanted to go tell him that he can use his account now. Because I've been like trying to do this for a while. But yeah, that is basically it. I hope that was interesting for you guys, and I I still think you should get Fujitora because he is a great physical heal unit and he can use the Lost Vein to a pretty decent extent. But if you already have a Metal Knight, especially if you already have Unique on a Metal Knight, there's no reason for you to get Fujitora unless you just want him. I think Metal Knight wins here yet again. The king of the air. What a good guy. What a good unit. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And oh my god, Cosmic looks so cool. Anyway, that's all from me. Thanks guys. See you next time.